250 52nd Street might look at first glance like a reference to DC's New 52. But it's also a palindrome. It's exactly the same whether you read it forward or backward, like Taco Cat, but slightly less adorable. Because, well, doesn't it just explain Joker's philosophy perfectly? The guy thinks that his reaction to whatever horrible thing happened to him is perfectly reasonable, and that anyone in his situation would also snap. In short, he believes that he and Harvey Dent, two people who at first glance look like total opposites, are really one and the same. Or in other words, that they're human palindromes. That's why Joker said he stashed Harvey at an address that was essentially a numerical pun of sorts, a play on numbers, if you will. It was his way of saying that if Harvey also put just a little more mascara, they'd basically be twinsies. In Back to the Future Part 2, Doc Brown does exactly two things. One screams about how meeting your own self from another timeline will create a paradox, causing the universe to bend over backwards, enter its own asshole, and blink out of existence, or something to that effect. 2 meets and talks to his own self from another timeline. It's actually a very tense moment. After Marty almost screws all of time and space like it was his mother, the Doc freaking runs into his 1950s self by sheer accident. Fortunately, back in the 50s, actually looking at the person you talked to was apparently considered a marriage proposal. So the Doc's younger version never realizes that the guy GS chatting up is himself from the future. And so a paradox is averted. Only it isn't. Let's examine the evidence. So after sending the video to the FBI for analysis and spending 24 hours in a holding cell for wasting government effort, I had a lot of time to think about the scene of the two characters meeting. Once I crunched the numbers, I concluded that there were 2 of them, and a funny thing about the number 2 isn't just that it's a euphemism for poop. Another word for 2 is pair. But a pair of what, you ask? Doctors. Or docs, for short. 2 doctors. A pair of doctors. A pair of docs. Paradox. Paradox. There's your paradox, and that sound you just heard is your brain slapping itself for not noticing this before being impressed by the whole thing. Now, normally I'd have declared this line of thinking to be the biggest stretch since Plastic Man and Elongated Man got in a dick measuring contest. But the piece of the score which accompanies the 2 docs meeting is called paradox. So, look, I don't like this any more than you, but we have to deal with the fact that we've been trolled by one of the most infuriatingly brilliant puns in movie history for nearly 30 years, and there's nothing we can do about it. Except invent an actual time machine and destroy the movie before it's too late. Someone get Neil deGrasse Tyson on the phone. Maybe he knows how to contact Stephen Hawking. Cesare Jan Strujovic is a cracked columnist, interviewer, and editor. Contact him at c.j.strujovic@gmail.com or follow him on Twitter. If you loved this article and want more content like this, support our site with a visit to our contribution page. Or sign up for our subscription service for exclusive content, an ad-free experience, and more. For more, check out 5 brilliant jokes almost everyone missed in famous movies, and 7 secret jokes